Hello world. Today I want to teach us how to do DHCP server configuration on both router and layer 3 switch. There are many methods of doing it, but at least we can do it on a firewall, we can do it on a dedicated server device, and we can do it on both router and layer 3 switch. So which is the area I want to concentrate on today. So just watch me as I do it. It is a very simple something, so you can easily get it. And if you like it or you want to know more, you can just follow me and give me a comment so that I can respond to you later after the video. Now let's quickly go start. I've already picked some computer here. You can still add later if we so wish. So let's start our DHCP server configuration. We will start first on the router. So let me go to network device and pick a switch. So now I'm picking a switch now just to connect the PC together. So I'm picking it now. It's actually not the major thing, but we are trying to use it to connect all these computers. We want to use it to connect all this PC now. So I'm going to use the automatic cable to connect the computer to the switches. So it's a very simple something. So we are doing the physical cable connection now. So before we now go ahead and do the configuration of DHCP server. So in the same way, let me use this automatic cable to also connect all these computers with the switch. So later we go ahead and do the DHCP server configuration. So I hope you can easily understand, because it's a very simple step. It's not difficult. So let me change the cable and pick another one. Alright, that is that. So let's start okay, let me complete this one. So let me start this one. So you can see this place showing red color. It's because the router is not yet on, so you can power it on depending on whichever way you want to use. So but let's start the process first, and then thereafter we see how everything will be on perfectly. So we are going to configure. Number one thing, let's go to system and on all the DHCP. So let's on all this DHCP, so that by the time we are done with configuration, the IP address will be assigned automatically to all these PC. So I hope you are following me. Then let's go and configure the DHCP server on the router. Now you can see this place showing red. So we need to get them on, and which we will do later in the course of our configuration. So let's quickly go and do that. Go to the right router and then come to this place, then type enable, then configure T, then the interface that connected to the port that connected to the router is what you can see it here. Let's get it here. Just stay here. That's gig 0/0/0, gig 0/0/0. So let's go back. So interface gig 0/0/0, then no shutdown. So when you write no shutdown, it means you are holding the port. So after we are done with that, no shutdown, so you can see now it has changed from the red color to green. So with time the both green color will show, but it has indicated that we have on it. That's why you see red color changing to green here. So let's continue. Now IP address, IP hard, then let's put 192.168. Let's use .2.1, and then we will put the 255.255.255.0, 255 in 3 places, and then so IP add, and this IP address, then exit. We have already assigned the IP address to that interface gig 0/0/0. So let us exit. Then so we have to enable the service so that we can configure the DHCP server. So let's enable the service by simply write service, then DHCP service, DHCP. So we want to enable that service for DHCP, which is very normal. You have enabled the service now. You can see this place, it has turned to green. Now let's continue. So after enabling the service, we need to create the DHCP pool. That is, we want to create pool. Means you are creating a number, many items in one place. So pool of IP address that DHCP server we allocate to the devices on the network. So now let's create it. IP DHCP pool, then for which department. So let's say the first department is IT department. So for IT depth, so we are creating IP DHCP pool for IT department, that is information technology department. So after that, wordness, we have to give network to it. So the network is this. network. Then the network should be the IP address, that is like the gateway IP address that this particular router will use to assign or to allocate the IP address. So now let me put it down. Network 192.168.2.1. So since I use okay, I used .1 before here. It's still the same thing I will use. Then as a network, I haven't done that. The network should be 0. So the IP address of the router is .1, while the network pool is .0. So 255.255.255.0. So network is .0, while the IP address is .1. So I hope you are following network. So after we are done with that, the default router so we can use the IP address we assigned to the router here. You can use it, as the default like default gateway. So 192.168.2.1 default router. Then after that, the DNS server. Let's create DNS server. DNS server, we can use Google DNS server, which is 8.8.8.8. That's 48 DNS server. Then after that, we can exit. Then just create IP address. So now it is already done now, but we have created the DHCP server for IP address allocation. But here, before we leave, we can reserve some IP address for maybe our gateway IP, or for printer, or for any other device we might want to use it for later. So by letting the system know that for now the IP range between this and that, you don't assign it, you can use any other, but between this and that. So because of that, we are going to put IP DHCP excluded address excluded address. Then you put the range like what we have here now. You can reserve between 1 and 10. So then space. So we are telling the system to exclude this IP address range between .1 to .10. It should not be assigned to any. So maybe anything from 11 can be assigned to the devices. So that is IP DHCP excluded address of this. So you have done that, then you can exit, then write memory to save the whatever you have done. Write memory, that's all. So let's go and check. So now we can see automatically IP address have been assigned. Now let's change, because we have told the system to exclude some. So we are refreshing it now. Let's type it again. You can see now it starts from 11, because we have told the system that it should not assign between 1 to 10. So now that means anything from 11 will be assigned. You can see now .11. The next should be .12. Let's check. So let's refresh it. .12, you can see. Then let's go to this one too. So this one should be .13. You see, you can see. So the next should be .14. Let's refresh it. So this one is should be .14. Wow, that's a good one. And now they can actually send a package to themselves now. Let me quickly demonstrate it. So that you see, .11 can ping can ping .14, ping 192.168.14. 0.192. Okay, I didn't write, I didn't complete the IP address. Sorry. No. Didn't complete the IP address. Okay, let me pick another one so that error will be corrected. So I want to use .14 to ping .11 so that you can see clearly. Ping 192.168.2.11. Instant reply. So what actually happened the other time is because I didn't complete the writing of that IP address as it so. .14 is bringing .11. So that is that. Let's quickly go and do the DHCP configurations, DHCP server configuration layer 3. So let's quickly go. Now you can see that is all this red color they are still showing on the cable, so we have to get it on. And how do we do that one quickly? Can just drag this AC power supply to any available space, and then it will be automatically on. Yes, it's on. So I think it should be on now. So you can see it has changed from red to soon it will change to green. So let's start the configuration. So no, simply type no. Then enable config T. So let's continue just as we have done for the first one. So we can do the same thing. So originally this is a multi-layer switch, so the default nature of the device is as a switch, but since it's a multi-layer switch, you can do both routing and switching activities. It has both capability. So now we have to configure it to route, because default nature is a switch. So now we want to configure it to be routing. So how do we go about that? Then we're going to write IP routing. IP routing. Then, having done that, which interface is connecting to the devices below it? So we have to, make the interface, to be a trunk instead of ordinary switch port. So, and then we do that by saying no switch port. So it will automatically convert it to a trunk. So now let me quickly check which I'm trying to check which port is using to connect this device. That's gig. That's gig 001. Gig 101. Gig 101. Okay, let's quickly go there. Gig 101. So interface gig 1/0/1. So we come about that because the port that connects with the device is gig 101, as you can see. Gig 101. I'm just trying to confirm for some people that might not understand why. That's 101. Yeah. So it is confirmed. So let's continue. Interface gig 101. There are no switch port. No switch port. No switch port. So we are using this command to convert it to trunk. So now, having done that, IP address. So the IP address you are assigning to this one, you can use different IP address. Let's use 192.168.20.1, then 255.255.255.0. So you can continue like that from there. That's the IP address we are assigning. Then exit. So let's open service for DHCP. Service DHCP. Service DHCP. So then the next is to create the pool. Let's create pool. IP DHCP pool, IP DHCP pool. Then let's say the other department is HR. So HR depth. Okay, so then the next thing, let's create the network for that. The network is, you can use the same IP address we used the other time. So just change the 1 to 0 so that it will be easy. The network so let's change. So the network will be this. It's on this network. Yeah, that's the network. Then after creating the network, we need to put the default router, just as we did in the first place, where we put a default router. So we need to put default router in this one too. Default router. Remember, we did it in the first when we are configuring it in the router. So it's just like default gateway. So default router is more or less the default gateway. So let's use this one as our default router. I hope you are following. So this should be our default router now. Default router, and then DNS server. DNS server. So we can use the same default router as our DNS server. So it will, there's no problem, we can use it. The other time when we are dealing with a router, we use Google as a DNS server. But this one we can use our default, our gateway IP as our DNS router. So I think we are good to go. So let's exit, and then so we can also exclude some IP address so that we can do it straightforward, and we can decide to exclude some IP address so that we can use it for other purpose, maybe for our printer or gateway IP address. So let's write IP DHCP excluded address, then we now have to specify between what range. You can also use the same thing, or you can change it to any range you feel like. Put space to show between this dot 1 to maybe dot 11 or so that even 11 will not be assigned to any of the device on this network. Maybe it will start from dot 12 or so. So just as we did it the other time, IP DHCP excluded address between this range 1 to range 11 will not be given to any. So I think we are done. Exit. So write memory. So we are done now. So let's quickly go and on automatic IP address for the individual PC on this layer 3. So it has not been assigned, so automatically you can see it starts from 12 because we have given the specification that between 1 and 11 it should not be assigned to any system. So in the same way, let's check this one too. This should be 13. Wow, it's working perfectly, seamlessly. Can you see? If you want to learn more about this thing, just follow me and give a comment or message me. You can see 14, then the next one 15.15. This one should be just 15 yarn. So that's how it is being done. You can easily use maybe color to just differentiate different departments. Like let's say we give this one this is IT department. Yeah, and let's give the under department name. So this is how it is being done. So if you want to learn more, you can just chat me. All the system can ping themselves, they can communicate to each other, to one another. So thank you for watching my video. So be expecting more and better and deeper aspect of networking. This is a networking aspect of cybersecurity. So as you follow me, you learn more, and if you want to see, you want our consultation, you can actually consult us. Bye for now.